Hey, how's it going, YouTube? So it is Sunday night and I'm getting ready to make and can applesauce tomorrow. So I thought I would show you my prep that I'm doing the night before. I just got finished coring and peeling 12 pounds of apples. I used half Fuji and half Gala because both are kind of on the sweet side, and my goal is not to add any added sugar to this. This isn't going to be like traditional applesauce where you would add cinnamon or some nutmeg and some sugar. I'm going to try to keep this as simple and as natural as possible because this applesauce is more aimed towards baby food, and this is mainly for Mina. So my goal is not to add any added extra sugar, so I'm hoping that I bought apples that are sweet enough. Of course, I'll sweeten it to taste just for her, but my goal is not to add any extra sugar and not to spice this up at all. So what I've done over here, this is, by the way, my Crock-Pot insert. So I'm going to cook these on low overnight. This is, it's right before The Walking Dead. Actually, I think it's about 8:30. So I'm going to put this on low for a couple of hours, and then before I go to bed, I'm just going to set it to warm, and then, and give it a good stir. And then in the morning, this should be nice and broken down and perfect consistency for applesauce. If you like your applesauce a little chunky, you can cut these a little bit bigger. My goal is to make this pretty thin for Mina, so I cut mine into kind of little cubes here, little chunks. So 12 pounds of apples in here. It's almost a full bowl here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw this in my Crock-Pot insert. Again, set it on low, give it a stir in a few hours before I go to bed. And in the morning, we should be ready to can up some applesauce, some baby applesauce for her. So I'm super excited, and excited to bring you guys along with me. So I will be back in the morning, and we will finish off this video, and I'll show you guys how I can this up. All right, see you tomorrow. All right, good morning, guys. It is like, I'm gonna say, I don't know if it's 8:30, something like that in the morning. And what I did with my apples overnight is before I went to bed at 1 o'clock, I came out here, I had it set on low. Now I'm using my mom's Crock-Pot because today's would have been my mom's 66th birthday. So I used her Crock-Pot, and her settings, she has 2 high settings and 2 low settings on, and let's see if I can bring you around here. So she has 2 high settings, a 4-hour and an 8-hour, and then 2 low settings, an 8-hour and a 10-hour. I set it to the 10-hour last night after I put the apples in, and I let them sit there from the time I did The Walking Dead, watched The Walking Dead, which was around 9 o'clock to about 1 in the morning. And then before I went to bed, I set it to warm. And this is what it looks like. So it cooked on warm all night long. Now I did not add, there's lots of different methods and recipes out there. One suggested adding water, another one suggested adding juice. I did not add anything to my apples. And as you see, they are nice and liquidy. I think had I maybe added anything to them, they would have been maybe a little too juicy for my liking. But I'm going to get out a potato masher here, and I'm just going to gently mash up the chunks and kind of get this. Now if you have one of those immersion blenders, I would definitely use that. I don't have one yet. It's on my wish list of things to get, but unless I find a cheap one, I really can't justify the price right now. It's more of a want than a need, because I don't think I would use it like on a daily basis to justify spending the money at this juncture. My potato masher is going to work just fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on breaking up this chunks. Now I did not add any spices to this because like I mentioned, this is mainly for baby food for Mina. That's the main reason why I'm making this. And so I want it as mild as possible, the least amount added to it. I just kind of want the apples. I'm going to have to taste it though. Last night as it was cooking down, I tasted it. And it was a little on the tart side. So even though I bought sweet apples, I think that looks beautiful. You guys are, I might be fogging you up a little. So I'm going to just take, you guys can see that. And I'm going to taste it. Yeah, it's a little on the tart side. So I think I'm going to have to add some sugar to it. So let me get this out. And I want to add the least amount of sugar as possible. So I know Michigan Snow Pony, learned this method from her to make your applesauce in the crock pot overnight. I think she said she adds 1 to 2 cups of sugar to hers, if I remember correctly. I'm going to add probably a 1/4 cup here at a time because I just want it sweet enough to where Mina will like it and it's not too tart for her, but I really just don't want to add a lot of sugar. Now of course she's not going to eat this in large quantities, so I'm sure in comparison to regular baby food it's not going to be that much sugar, but I just want to sweeten it up a little bit for her. So, get out a clean spoon here and give it another taste. I'm going to add another 1/4 cup. That helped. That definitely helped take some of that tart out. It's still pretty tart. I don't want it super sweet though. A clean spoon and give it another taste. Beautiful consistency though. That is perfect. It's just a little sweeter, still a bit tart, but has just a little bit of sweetness to it now. So that is perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this on warm. I have some bottles soaking here that I have to wash up, and a couple dishes just to hand wash quickly. And I'm going to make sure the kids are all set, and I'll get out my canner and get out my jars. I have a whole video on my setup for when I begin canning. I will link that down below so you guys can see the whole process that I'm going to do here behind the scenes. But I will get everything out and ready and going, and then I'm going to go ahead and we'll be back in probably about an hour. And of course, to you guys, it'll be 1 second. But we will be back, and I'm going to can this up. And little Miss Mina is going to have some applesauce. In fact, I might just set out a little cup for her, and we will scoop a little bit in here and let it cool, and let her taste it and see how she likes it. And I'll show you guys how she likes it, if it's a yay or a nay. Alright guys, I will be back. I thought I would show you guys really quickly in a bowl how pretty this applesauce is. Of course, I want to mention to add sugar to your own taste. You don't have to add any sugar if you don't want. I only added a little bit of sugar just to sweeten it up a little, not to make it as tart for baby. But you can definitely leave the sugar out or add 1 to 2 cups of sugar. Just taste it. I would say add little bits at a time and keep tasting it until you get it to the taste that you like. But look how beautiful that is. Now that's without any kind of cinnamon, without any kind of nutmeg. That's just apples. It's so pretty and it tastes so good. And it already got the seal of approval from Matt and Mason. And now I'm just letting this cool down a little bit for Mina. And we'll see how she likes it. But I just wanted to show you guys how pretty it is. And it cooked up beautifully. So, super easy. I mean, you can't get any easier than this. So anyone who buys applesauce, and if you don't you can still put it in a mason jar, put it in your fridge. I believe from what I have read and heard from other people, it lasts about 2 weeks in your refrigerator. But I'm sure if you have kids, it will not last that long. So yeah, super easy. You don't ever have to buy applesauce again. Alright guys, I'll be back. Hi Mina. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Alright, let's taste the applesauce. Let's taste it.
I said you'll feel a little less grumpy.
What do you think?
What?
What do you think?
You'll feel a little less grumpy after you eat.
Yes.
You're already starting to feel better, right?
Does Mina like it? I think she likes it. She's still getting used to using that tongue. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you like it? I think you like it. I think you're spilling it on yourself. We're still learning. We're still learning. Do you like it? You like it, Mina? Do you like that applesauce? I think you like it. I think you like it. I think it's a winner, guys. Yay! Yay, Mina. Okay, guys, I think we are ready to go ahead and can. So I have sterilized my utensils here, my funnel and my my scoop spoon here, along with my tongs and my measurer for my headspace. And it's also a debubbler, whichever you uses as both, and my magnet wand. So I have my lids and rings in this pot. I simmered this water, shut it off. It's nice and hot, and then I went ahead and added my lids and rings to it. They no longer recommend that you actually simmer your lids and rings, so I just put them in the super hot water. I have my applesauce over here ready to can, and I have my jars in the canner that have been boiling for 20 minutes now. I'm going to leave you the actual link down below to the National Center for Home Food Preservation, and in that link it'll tell you exactly how long to pressure, or not pressure can, I wish, I love pressure canning, hot water bath or pressure can. You can actually pressure can applesauce as well, but we are going to use the hot water method today. My elevation here where I live is 768 feet, so my applesauce will process for 15 minutes. It's very important to know what your elevation is where you live, and adjust your times accordingly, because majority of people, you'll see a lot on YouTube, have to process their applesauce for about 20 minutes. So definitely find out what your elevation is, and I will leave the link again down below to the National Center for Home Food Preservation website, and you can find out what your guidelines are. So again, don't take my word for it. Go ahead and read a book if you want to can. I'm just showing you the process that I am using today. So I'm going to lift my jars up out of the water. And I know you guys can't see this part. And I'm going to go ahead and remove a jar. And we're going to do one jar at a time here. And hopefully you guys, let me aim you here. Go ahead and put the funnel on. And fill the jar with applesauce. Now I took my applesauce out of the crock-pot, and I put it in a pot, and I brought it to a boil. We are going to fill the jars to 1/2 inch headspace. I always like to bring out another jar so that my funnel can go right on top of it. And I need just a tad bit more, just a tad. Then I am going to go ahead and use my debubbler and just make sure that there are no air bubbles. I might have now just a tad too much, so let me grab a spoon here. And you can go ahead and measure 1/2 inch headspace using your little measure tool, and that is perfect. Get out some hot water. You can add some vinegar to it, which is what I like to do. Just use some white vinegar and put a dab in my hot water. Okay, and then I go ahead and get a napkin, dip it, wipe off my rim really well. And then go ahead and get a lid.
Mommy, you call me?
No, I didn't call you. Fingertip tight, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this right back into my canner. But just so you guys can see what it looks like inside the jar, it's absolutely beautiful. These are pint-sized jars that I'm using. And now let's go ahead and fill up another one. Sorry, my washer is going and my dishwasher is going. And it is a busy Monday here. I know some of you ladies have asked me for my meal planning Monday video. I will get to it, I promise, because I do have to meal plan today. So might as well keep this camera out and film it for you guys. Just haven't gotten around to making it yet. Go ahead and measure that. That is a 1/2 inch headspace, perfect. Napkin. Wipe the rim. Add a lid. And a ring. Fingertip tight. And there is jar of applesauce number 2. tip tight. Pint number 3. It's so pretty. I love looking at my home canned food in jars. I just do. I can't help it. I could stare at my jars all day. So it looks like I might get 4 pints out of this. And what remains, I'm going to throw that in my hot soapy bucket of water. What remains I will scoop out and put in a little pint-sized jar, or half a pint-sized jar, and put it in the fridge for Mina to eat now. There's no need to can and preserve and go through the whole process if it's just going to end up in the fridge anyway. So, pint number 4, and I think this is ending up being a nice little baby food canning session for her. That was I put in 5 just in case. I kind of thought it would be 4, but I wasn't sure, so I put 5 in just in case. It's always good to at least process 1 or 2 extra jars just in case, because you just never know. And then I will scoop this into a little jelly jar and get a better spoon. But that definitely is enough on the bottom to actually, for her, probably will last 2 feedings. With the little amount she takes of baby food right now. It takes her so long because she's learning how to use her tongue and to keep the food in her mouth. She's so cute. So alright, so let me take you off the tripod here, and I will take you over to my canner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower these jars into the water like so. And now that they're in the water, I'm going to go ahead and place the top. Now, of course, this is not how do I learn how to can, Heather video. This is definitely for people who already know how to can and already know the rules. So now I'm going to, because I believe that is already at a boil, I'm actually going to wait for a couple minutes. I'm going to wait probably 2-3 minutes. I know it's at a rapid boil, and I'm going to set my timer, and in 15 minutes I will come back, you guys, and I will show you the finished product when we take it out of the canner. Alright guys, see you in about 20 minutes. Alright guys, so the timer is off and my jars are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them out of the canner. Lift the rack, and there we go. And there is our beautiful baby food slash applesauce. Now, if I were making applesauce for us, I would definitely probably put cinnamon and maybe a little nutmeg in it, and kind of spiced it up a little bit. But because it's mainly for Mina, I've kept it very, very simple for her. Just scooch it over here. That is absolutely beautiful. I know some of you asked me if I've made applesauce mixed with pears, and that's also good for babies. I have not, but I will. I think Mina would love that. Right now we are introducing foods one at a time for Mina and giving her a few days on it just to make sure that there's no allergy, there's no reaction. Last week it was bananas and potatoes. Now it's applesauce. I've got sweet potatoes I'm going to introduce her to after I've given it a few days on the apples. And then we're just going to kind of keep moving from there with the fruits and veggies. And she's 6 months now old, and when she's 7 months we can start introducing her to soft meats, but she kind of has to get a little better at her eating method first before we move that far. But I like to do 3 to 4 days with just one fruit or one vegetable just to make sure that there's no reactions, no allergies. I don't know how many of you know this. I'm severely, deathly allergic to strawberries, where my, throat closes up and I can't breathe. So, it's really important to me to make sure that she has absolutely no food allergies. So, anyhow, the apples and pears is a fantastic idea. I think she would love it. I'm also considering just making pears like this and, getting, 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 12 pounds of pears, and doing the same thing with pears. So that's probably coming up as well. And if I do make that, I will bring you guys back. I've made a pear butter, but I've never made like a pear kind of sauce. Of course, pear butter is very, has a lot of spices in it. I would leave all that out for her and make the pear sauce just like I made the applesauce and keep it really simple. So when I make that, I will bring you guys back and I'll show you that process. But I hope this video helped someone out there, maybe who has a baby and, wants to make baby food. Of course, this is a lot of applesauce if you don't can, but you could definitely cut this down into, 6 to 8 apples and make enough to, fill a small jar and put it in your fridge. But for those of you who do can or want to learn how to can, this was very, very simple. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being complex and 1 being the easiest recipes, this is a 1. So this is definitely a beginner level recipe. So don't be intimidated. If you give this a try, comment down below and let me know. But this is definitely something really easy for newbies to give a try and be successful at. Really, really easy, guys. Alright, and with that, I'm going to wrap this video up, making Meal Planning Monday video for you guys, and I'll be back a little later. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, of course, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like these videos, because I'm going to have more canning videos. And I've got plum jam to do probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll get to it today. But yeah, comment down below if you give this recipe a try. I'd love to know. Alright guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.